All right. Hello. Our project was the social media proposal for the brand Her Campus Cal Poly, and our group consists of Lauren, Hannah, Nathan, and Daytona. I'm Hannah. I am a third-year journalism major concentrating in public relations, and my role in this project included establishing a brand voice and giving examples for possible posts on the Instagram.
Hey everyone, I'm Nathan. I'm a third-year journalism major concentrating in news. My role for this project included evaluating the key performance indicators and setting a timeline for the campaign.
Hi, I'm Daytona. I'm also a third-year journalism major concentrating in news. And for this project, my role is including the client introduction and strategies for the proposal.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I am also a third-year journalism major concentrating in public relations and minoring in marketing. And my role was to establish the campaign objectives and the key audiences.
So our client is Her Campus Cal Poly. And Her Campus Cal Poly is one of over 360 chapters connected to the National Her Campus organization. The overall organization is ranked the #1 media site for college women. Some of the sections for the editorial side of the site include culture, money and careers, wellness, lifestyle, sex and relationships, and style and beauty. Her Campus Cal Poly generally gears their social media sites, mainly being Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest, towards getting readers to the editorial content. Her Campus Cal Poly is focused on producing editorial and social media content aimed mostly at college women, especially focused on women's empowerment. Content does range, however, to include more general activism, self-care, and tips for work and school success. Members of the Her Campus Cal Poly chapter are encouraged to find their niche in the club, whether that be with PR, event planning, social media, or editorial. The social media team produces content they think will encourage more readers to interact with the editorial content. Over the past years, Her Campus Cal Poly has risen through the levels of the national organization's ranking system. It's currently at the elite chapter level, which is the top level. This ranking was achieved through consistent production of editorial and social media content over the past few years.
Her Campus Cal Poly aims to have an active, strong voice speaking to their followers on all platforms. The main message that Her Campus Cal Poly wants to pass along can be explained using 4 titles. First, being the promotion of activism. Especially in times like we've had this year with 2020, using your platform to speak up on social issues is a must. During the Black Lives Matter protests in March, Her Campus Cal Poly released a statement on Instagram showing support for the movement and stating their goal to do better in regard to diversity efforts. Actions like these must occur more often to ensure our brand is using their voice for good, so we do not lose followers or soil our reputation. Her Campus Cal Poly wants to empower women to be their best selves. Every platform clearly shows a love for all things feminism and female empowerment as a whole. We do this by encouraging self-care and self-love, and by inspiring women to become motivated and work their hardest. This brand voice can be amplified on our Instagram in many ways, mainly through content posted. This will also help to gain followers who care about how active a brand is in the community. In addition, amplifying brand voice will clearly show potential new followers what Her Campus Cal Poly is. This way, nobody has to ask the question, what is Her Campus Cal Poly, or what do they care about?
Like Daytona mentioned earlier, Her Campus Cal Poly is a club that is affiliated with Her Campus, the national organization. The national organization separates chapters across the country into different levels, and over the past few years, Her Campus Cal Poly has gone from one of the lower tiers all the way to the top because of their consistent posting of articles and social media content. For this plan, we would really like to focus on growing Her Campus Cal Poly's Instagram in order to drive more community members to our website and increase the views on our articles. Overall, we really want to increase the campus and community outreach, and we think the best way to do this would be through Instagram. Currently, the account has a little under 1,300 followers and is focused on following a certain aesthetic. The first thing we would like to do is increase the Instagram following by at least 20%. By doing this, it would allow us to grab new audience members and drive them to read the content on our website. We plan on measuring this through the Insights tab in Instagram and giving monthly reports to our club to hold ourselves accountable. Second, in order to increase the overall outreach of the club, it will be important that we target newer demographics to our Instagram. Typically, the club has been focused on Cal Poly women, with most of the content targeting towards them. With this campaign, we want to make sure that new students and other demographics are seeing our content as well. Currently, our engagement is low outside the current members of the club. With our new campaign, we want to make sure and grow this as much as possible to get the most outreach as possible. In order to do this, we will make sure to follow those in the community, ensure good community engagement by commenting and liking others' posts, using relevant hashtags, and possibly setting aside a budget to boost posts. We believe this proactive engagement will be able to increase our overall engagement by at least 20%. While our main objective is outreach, we have set aside these more specific goals to get there. So in order to increase our overall reach and engagement, it will be important to take a closer look at our audience to see where we're at and where we need to grow. First, to identify our primary audience that we are already doing a good job of targeting, we have female identifying people at Cal Poly and in the San Luis Obispo community. Much of our content is in the areas of beauty, wellness, and relationships, which fits this demographic really well, but we can always strengthen our relationship more by ensuring that the community is resharing our content. This group is in the 18 to 25 age range with low income levels, female identifying, and usually residing in San Luis Obispo. This demographic is typically reached on social media, which is perfect for us to target in this campaign. Next, we have our secondary audience, which is a group that we are partially targeting but could use more work and emphasis. This would include anyone in the Cal Poly or San Luis Obispo community. Our content would also be relevant to those that are in high school or out of college, but we don't target those groups as explicitly. There are plenty of stories that talk about great places to visit in SLO, recipes to try on a budget, or even book reviews. This also goes for our emerging group, male identifying people in the community. While this website and social media accounts are much targeted towards women in this age range, we have so much content that would apply to any gender, and it would be great to maybe include this content in gender neutral colors when sharing or including tips from the articles and Instagram posts to show this group what our content is about. This demographic would be less likely to seek out her campus content on their own, as it sometimes appears feminine. So this would be great. This is where boosting posts would come in handy, or sharing content through our own followers. Now that we've gone into some of our objectives and key audiences that we're trying to reach, let's talk about the strategy to achieve these goals.
So we have a few main strategies as part of this campaign. One of the main strategies for increasing followers and audience interaction on Instagram is optimizing the posts. The post should be inclusive and demonstrate the brand's commitment to diversity and respect. The purpose of the social media post is to encourage followers to go back to the editorial content posted on the Her Campus Cal Poly website. So for this, articles that demonstrate the brand's support of women and diversity and inclusion should be featured primarily in Instagram posts. These will most likely connect to a wider audience. Another strategy is posting content relevant to Cal Poly students in general, as well as members of the San Luis Obispo community. Followers shouldn't be spammed with random posts, but instead have content that's not only maintaining the Instagram's aesthetic, but it's relevant to the Her Campus Cal Poly brand. These posts could feature members of the club, as well as content specific to San Luis Obispo and Cal Poly. Articles that include relevant information to Cal Poly students or San Luis Obispo residents should actively be posted about. This could appeal not just to Cal Poly women, but to the larger community in San Luis Obispo. To increase the outreach of Her Campus Cal Poly, the Instagram should be used to actively work towards community engagement. This involves following community members and liking and commenting on posts. Engaging with other clubs specifically on campus could also increase the audience that the Instagram reaches. This means having relevant captions and hashtags that encourage followers to interact with the account.
Her Campus Cal Poly uses the Instagram to promote articles published on their website and to engage with the followers on a daily schedule. I created 3 examples of possible Instagram posts that could be seen on the Her Campus Cal Poly Instagram that could help increase our followers, tackle new demographics, and encourage engagement. The first post is one that will promote an article that is scheduled to publish on November 20th. The photo and article both show Her Campus Cal Poly's commitment to inclusivity and equal representation during the Sex and Relationships themed week. Next, we have one more post that is highlighting an article, this one about Michelle Obama's podcast. This not only shows the brand's support of women in powerful positions, but also encourages our followers to become more educated. Lastly, we have a photo taken from the Instagram of one of our members, Malia Sign. This is a photo that could be posted any day of the week and helps make the feed more aesthetically pleasing. For this post, we could also tag Cal Poly Study Abroad to connect with another Cal Poly group. In addition, we are urging followers to wear masks, which is a good example of us showing responsibility as a brand. This post is one that shows an example of what Daytona was referencing, that being relevancy to San Luis Obispo community members. In addition, it shows that Her Campus Cal Poly is ran by real women who live in the area.
As Lauren stated earlier, our campaign has three main objectives: increasing our number of Instagram followers, a higher engagement rate with our Instagram posts, and a more diversified following in general. There's a set of key performance indicators we can use to evaluate how well our campaign is doing. They are simple little math equations that we can just plug the results of the campaign into. First, we have the new follow growth rate. Here, we simply divide the followers we obtain over the course of the campaign by the total number of followers altogether. Multiply that by 100, and you've got the follow growth rate percentage. The goal we set for ourselves was a 20% increase in Her Campus Cal Poly's Instagram following. Since the account currently has around 1,300 followers, that means our target is about 1,560 followers, give or take, by the end of this campaign. Next, there's the average engagement rate. An important thing to remember about social media is that numbers alone don't really mean anything in a vacuum unless you're comparing it to your number of followers. Getting 500 comments on a post might sound cool, but if the account that posted has 10 million followers, it didn't really have a very impressive engagement rate. So with this equation, you add up the likes, the comments, and the shares, and then you divide that by the number of followers you have at the time that the post goes up, then multiply that by 100, and you've got your engagement rate. We would do this multiple times on multiple posts and take the average of all of those together. Like with the new follower key performance indicator, our objective is a 20% increase in that average engagement rate. We determined that this campaign would be around a 2-month endeavor, give or take a week or so. With that in mind, we've drawn up a rough timeline to keep ourselves on track. Starting off, we want to begin by prepping these Instagram posts that are so important to the campaign. It's good to plan ahead so that we can coordinate those posts with upcoming events. Then we want to reach out to other Cal Poly organizations that can reach potential followers, both through face-to-face meetings and on social media. These include women's career organizations like the Cal Poly Society of Women Engineers or the Women in Business Association, so we can reach female Cal Poly students who haven't heard about Her Campus. We'd also want to talk to groups that specifically work with freshmen, such as Week of Welcome, so we can get the word out early, raise awareness of Her Campus when they're entering Cal Poly. If we reach out to these organizations early in the campaign, we can coordinate cross-promotions with them down the line. As the weeks go by, we want to make sure that we're sticking to a consistent posting schedule. This is really important because it rewards new followers, it demonstrates that we're a reliable brand, and it increases the opportunities for engagement. Her Campus Cal Poly's contributors, who are Cal Poly journalists that are savvy on social media, can share these posts to amplify the account's voice. We also want to make sure that we're engaging with anybody who did engage with these posts because it makes them even more visible. Around this time, we also want to begin running our engagement rate calculations. We'll pick a post at random, add up the likes, comments, and shares, and we'll take the rate. As I noted in the evaluation section, we're going to need to do this multiple times with multiple posts so that we can get an accurate average rate. Hopefully this rate both increases over the course of the campaign over those 2 months, and in general is higher than when the campaign began. Finally, once we've finished, we need to analyze the account to see if we met our objectives. We'll tally up our new followers, we'll calculate our average engagement rate, and we'll compare both to the goals we set at the beginning of the campaign.
Thank you for listening. We are so excited to work with Her Campus Cal Poly to meet all of these campaign objectives.